Picture this. A chemical tank malfunction in Garden Grove forces tens of thousands to evacuate, and the ripple effects are reaching us here in Irvine today. I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett.
Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett, reporting from Irvine, California.
All right, let's set the stage for this one. First up, chemical tank malfunction in Garden Grove sparks massive evacuations. Officials ordered about 40,000 people out of a wide area after a tank at GKN Aerospace, a manufacturing facility that supplies aircraft components, started showing signs of failure on May 20th. The concern has been either an explosion or a toxic plume, meaning a dangerous cloud of chemicals drifting downwind. The tank holds methyl methacrylate. That's a liquid used to make resins and plastics. It's highly flammable and can irritate your lungs and skin. Fun fact that's not so fun. It's been banned in California nail salons since at least 2015 because of safety concerns. Crews tried cooling the tank, but a faulty valve is complicating things. A valve is basically a control gate for pressure and flow, and when it sticks, it can make temperature and pressure harder to manage. By late Friday, the Orange County Fire Authority, our county fire and rescue agency, said the tank's temperature was stabilized by about 4:40 p.m. And South Coast AQMD, the local air quality regulator, reported it wasn't detecting that chemical in the air as of around 5 p.m. Schools and businesses in the zone have been disrupted, and officials are even asking for out-of-the-box solutions, meaning they're open to unconventional ideas to keep this safe.
That's so wild. The urgency here is real, and honestly, it shows how complex chemical storage can be. One part, like a single valve, becomes the hinge for everything. Why does that matter so much, right? Because with volatile liquids, pressure and heat can feed each other. If you can't reliably vent or regulate, you get risks stacking up fast. And big picture, this is a preparedness test. You've got evacuation orders, rapid monitoring, and a lot of coordination. One thing that stands out to me, they still don't know what caused the original malfunction. That uncertainty makes decision-making tougher, so the quick data checks from OCFA and AQMD are like the backbone here, while everyone works the problem.
Yeah, that checks out. All right, let's roll on. Next up, Irvine City Council weighs audits to address a growing budget deficit. City leaders are looking at independent audits because Irvine is facing a roughly $6 million shortfall, which officials learned about in March. The worry is, if nothing changes, that gap could widen to about $47 million by 2030. The deficit is tied to rising costs, more hiring, new facilities, and a growing population. The proposed audits would look at how federal funds were used between 2021 and 2025 at City Hall renovations and at other big projects like exploring a city library system. Quick definition. An audit is an independent check of the books and decisions, and the general fund is basically the city's main checking account that pays for everyday services. One note from Mayor Larry Agron. That's Irvine's mayor. He's concerned about auditing projects that have already been reviewed by federal authorities. In other words, do we recheck what's been checked or focus on areas without prior oversight?
Let's unpack this. Transparency is huge. When you're talking taxpayer dollars, clear answers build trust. At the same time, I totally get the question, why audit again if a federal review already happened? Maybe the local audit looks at different angles, like whether cost growth matched what we promised residents. Here's the twist. That $6 million is only about a 2% overage of the general fund. Small on paper, but if the trend line is up, it can snowball. So a sharp, targeted audit, rather than duplicating work, feels like the sweet spot. Check what's driving costs and what's actually delivering value for people who live here. Okay, let's move on. High drama in OC. 9 local teams compete in the CIFSS softball semifinals this Saturday, May 23rd. CIFSS stands for the California Interscholastic Federation, Southern Section. That's the high school sports governing body for our region. We've got 9 Orange County teams in the mix across divisions.
In Division 1, La Habra is pushing for its first section final since 1982. That's some program history on the line. Sarah, last year's Division II runner-up, takes on Norco, the reigning Division I champion. That's a heavyweight matchup if there ever was one. In Division II, Whittier Christian is bringing a big bat, and Matter Day's got the arms, the pitching depth you need in tight games.
Real talk. The talent level is sky high. Lower seeds have a chance to make a statement here. One great game, and you're in the final. And a wild stat. Whittier Christian is averaging about 10.6 runs per game in the playoffs. That's serious scoreboard pressure. If you like the chess match of pitching versus power, this weekend's your jam.
Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett here in Irvine.
Have a great day, stay safe, stay curious, and we'll catch you tomorrow.